Hello, I'm Rocco. I'm the owner of the Esoteric Services webpage and the creator of the Angel and Fairy Magic group on Facebook. Today we will discuss in the Devil, Saint Michael, God, and techniques and prayers for you to get rid of this big enemy in quotes which haunted and at the same time try to charm humanity for since humanity was born. So let's familiarize with who is the so-called adversary or Satan. Satan is a Hebrew name meaning Shaitan, or the adversary meaning the opposer or the questioner, the one who opposes God and His grace. Why does he oppose God? Because you were created, because men and women were created by God right after He created the universe and He created angels. All angels were created perfect, including him, Lucifer, at first, who was the main archangel, or the most powerful of all the archangels, the most beautiful, the most gracious, the kindest. Then God created man, and He announced to the angels that the new creature that was going to be not worshipped but highly honored by the whole of creation and by Him, and was going to be held by the angels, was going to be us. So Lucifer stepped back and said, basically, I don't want to do this, and he pronounced the famous short sentence non serviam, which is Latin for I shall not serve or I shall not bow down. So the energy of Lucifer does not bow down, but it's not that it doesn't bow down to inequalities, or it doesn't bow down to wrong power, or it doesn't bow down to some sort of misplaced or arrogant authority, because he is the one who is arrogant, but he doesn't bow down to his own life and to the source of life itself, who is God. So he decided in his own mind that he wanted not only to be free from God, but also independent from God, but also superior to God. So a few other angels, who weren't so few actually, we're talking about millions, decided to engage in this losing battle with him. And on the other hand, the energy that could at the same time contrast Lucifer's energy was and is Michael's, who, although important but lower at the time than Lucifer, he, because followed God, was indeed stronger. So it doesn't matter how much another person was initially gifted with, but even if you're the last in line, you will have the power to be the first if you follow God's command, which is simply not to destroy yourself, to love yourself, and then subsequently to love others. So one of the ways that Lucifer thought he was smart, that he would outsmart God, the creator of him, was that he was smarter and he was proud, and he said, I shall not serve you. This battle was mainly between Michael and Lucifer, although Michael had all the other angels with him, and Lucifer had the angels that were going to be fallen angels. So when the battle arose in heaven, Michael's energy contrasts Lucifer, as they both Lucifer was, Michael still is, associated to light, because Lucifer was the light bringer and Michael is the archangel of the sun. So we have two different lights here, and Michael, is also very smart. He's associated together with Raphael, although he is of the sun, to the planet Mercury. So Michael is sometimes in tarot the suit of swords, so the mind. So he does have a powerful mind. So we have two powerful minds and two different ways to interpret the very concept of light. Lucifer wasn't going to be a warrior angel, he was going to be a seraphim, meaning the highest order of angels. The Bible says a cherubim, just to be to put it poetically, because he was going to be loving. Cherubs are the angels of love. So in short, just like what happened with Lilith, although Lilith was a human woman, the same concept is, do not bow down to the energy that's, although positive, and therefore paying the price for it. So Lucifer physically fell. He was just spirit, but he fell heavily down. He was the first, and he fell apparently with dignity. Although he was, there's a nice painting by, I think it's an Italian or a French painter that drew this scene where Michael at the last minute puts his hand out in case Lucifer changes his mind. He was still in time to change his mind. And so Michael, on the other hand, wants to help him, and then Lucifer just uses the last bit of his grace to turn down heaven's help, so he falls. He literally stumps on the ground, and then a hole is created into the ground, bringing him down with the other angels who fell, namely the demon that's now called Belial, and the he was a seraphim also with the demon that's now called Beelzebub. These were the three angels to fall. The last angel to fall is the demon now called Astaroth, who still argues she or he was cast down out of a mistake, like she didn't deserve this. All the other demons agree that they deserved it, she doesn't. So that's just the story. So it's a story of frustration, and it's a literal story of truth. It's not only the archetype of Lucifer, the unsatisfied being who doesn't accept what the love that they give him. And now he or the other demons can, and by demons I also mean the so-called pagan gods, so Mercury, Jupiter, and whatnot, Pan, Diana, and all of these people that are worshipped in religions such as the heathen religion, say Odin or Loki, and then the voodoo gods, vampires, werewolves. All of these beings are not earthly beings, they're infernal, although the practitioners of voodoo sometimes think that their spirits are not infernal, but they roam on the earth, so they're in between hell and heaven, sort of like the fairies that inhabit the earth. That's not correct. These are all demons. When they possess you, or a dear loved one, or your mother, or whoever it is, they do so with your inner permission. Why do they enter your body, not your soul? They have no permission to take over your soul unless your soul is offered to, in this case it can only be Lucifer, through what it's called the literal and very talked about pact with the devil. The devil takes your soul in the fictitious exchange for earthly and carnal pleasures that are eventually denied with this constant illusion that he will grant you favors, that he is the master of the earth, that everything that happens within the earth is under his control, but it's not this way. So except in that case, he can only take over your body, giving different types of possession. It's not always as graphic as in the movie The Exorcist, where the lower demon, Pazuzu, takes over the body of this little girl, and the same actress was traumatized for life, and sometimes this demon has come back to her unknowingly, without her knowing. So the charm, if you will, or the hook of the devil is that he seems to know everything. So during these possessions, the devil speaks of, say, things that he or other immortal spirits may only know, or that the person possessed cannot know. Say somebody died 5 minutes before that, and he gives that sort of announcement. So this impresses people, although there isn't any angel that would not know the same type of information. But he is very much of the showman. He likes to show off. Just because he's worth so little, the little that he has to be on some sort of stage, if you will. Now, the angels are very gracious. You can, to deliver one from evil and from the devil or other demons, it's essential that you have faith. You have faith in the devil. Above all, you have faith in God. One of the ways the devil will try to stay in that body is that he will say to your subconscious that it's not him. Or in more sophisticated cases, he will tell them, such as the so-called spiritual Satanism, that he is a benevolent, generous, positive being who is basically just trying to save you or to help you or to give you blessings and so on. So it's very hard to detect for beginners where the devil is, but it certainly lays where there's fear. It does not accept love. One of the names that the devil dislikes so much, one of the divine names, is Emmanuel. It's one of the divine names of Jesus. It's Jesus. It means God in you, in me, in us. So God within. This is because he thinks that he's a God, and one of the strategies of Satanism is that you are your own God, where Christ says that already, because you're not your own God, but you have God in you. So you are divine already, so you don't need to be cursed to be divine. You are divinely created. So there's many prayers that you can do for a simple exorcism. Unless the case is really bad, I would recommend to use a yellow candle on a Sunday morning, and no matter the moon phase, and light it up to Archangel Michael, asking him with a specific prayer to cast out all the demons that that person has, and then let the candle burn out, and then throw out the remnants of the ritual in a river. The person, as in the case of the famous exorcist and, if you will, Saint Cipriano, his name is, and he, if you find his exorcism, is very powerful, and it lasts about 3 weeks, and you have to do it on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and on a Sunday with one white candle and some frankincense, and then the exorcism has to be over before 11 p.m. So these are just some of the techniques you can use. Always call them God's help, Michael's help, and Mary's help. These are people that Satan cannot stand, and that will cast him out for sure. Believe in God, but don't fall into the trap of not believing in the devil. Thank you. Blessings.